Sean Combs is back in court for the first time since the day of his verdict. Now, Sean Combs ended up being convicted of 2 charges. Those were transportation for the purpose of prostitution.
In a legal twist nobody saw coming, Sean Diddy Combs' team just filed a motion so rare. Some defense attorneys call it a courtroom Hail Mary. And it might just work. We're unpacking the explosive maneuver Diddy's lawyers launched to stall sentencing and reboot the trial. But there's a deeper play here, one that could reshape how celebrity justice works behind closed doors. A convicted felon, millions in seized assets, and now, one last legal roll of the dice. Sean Diddy Combs just filed a motion so bold, it's baffling seasoned prosecutors. You're about to see how Diddy's legal team may have found a slim, shocking legal crack to force a new trial just before sentencing drops. But the wildest part, it hinges on a courtroom move almost never seen at this stage. If your entire future hung on one last courtroom tactic, would you take the shot, even if it was a long one? Drop a balance in the comments if you'd roll the dice with your freedom. What if the courtroom isn't where the real battles are won, but where they're revealed? Behind closed doors, Diddy's lawyers have been orchestrating a rarely used post-verdict maneuver, a motion for a new trial based on alleged judicial misconduct. It's the legal equivalent of calling a timeout after the buzzer, and it's already dividing legal scholars coast to coast. Less than 1% of federal defendants successfully overturn their conviction at this stage. And yet, Diddy's team claims to have uncovered a procedural flaw that could reopen the case entirely. They're alleging prejudicial behavior from the judge, a claim so volatile it's typically buried, not broadcast. But if this sticks, it's not just a new trial, it's legal dynamite. Picture the courtroom. The jury delivers a guilty verdict. The room holds its breath, and then weeks later, the defense files a sealed motion claiming that bias and irregularities poisoned the entire process. That's not just bold. It's virtually unheard of in federal criminal court. But Diddy's legal team isn't playing defense. They're playing chess. Never underestimate the power of courtroom optics, because perception can become precedent. According to insiders, Diddy's attorneys are leveraging footage, transcripts, and unofficial courtroom behavior to frame a story of unfair treatment. They're not just appealing, they're reframing the entire trial narrative, from guilty to set up. A former prosecutor who tried cases in the same district told a legal podcast, "I've seen 3 of these motions in 20 years. One succeeded, and it was a political firestorm. That one case involved witness tampering by the judge's clerk, an ultra-rare scenario. So why is Diddy's team betting it all on this card? Because sometimes, one anomaly is all it takes to blow the doors off." Diddy's legal team claims they have 2 converging lines of evidence: alleged ex parte communication between the judge and prosecution, and a mysterious recusal request that was denied with no public explanation. If either one is substantiated, the integrity of the entire trial comes under fire. That's not technicality. That's implosion. There's nothing more dangerous than a celebrity with resources and a grudge, said appellate attorney Louis Franklin. He argues that Diddy's push isn't just about legal redemption, it's a message to the system. You don't get to bury me quietly. Whether it works or not, the motion has already upended the court of public opinion. Legal insiders say high-profile defendants are increasingly using post-verdict activism, a mix of media pressure, legal crowdfunding, and strategic filings to weaponize public scrutiny against judicial decisions. Diddy may be riding that wave or creating it. Either way, what happens next could reshape the final stage of federal trials for the ultra-rich. Imagine a sentencing judge reading headlines as the defendant's legal team accuses the very court of misconduct. That's exactly what's unfolding in the Southern District, where the presiding judge is now being scrutinized in the same public eye that once focused solely on Diddy. It's not just a legal battle now, it's reputational warfare. Why would a billionaire risk making enemies of the judiciary before sentencing? Some insiders suggest it's a deliberate strategy. pressure the court, spark outside interest, and potentially delay proceedings. In legal chess, sacrificing one move can trap your opponent 2 turns later. Court documents show 2 moves made almost simultaneously, an emergency appeal filed under seal, and a sudden request to delay pre-sentencing interviews. Neither tactic is routine. Both suggest behind-the-scenes turbulence far deeper than what's visible on the docket. The silence from the bench only fuels the speculation. One clerk, speaking under anonymity, recalled a similar case where last-minute motions disrupted an entire court calendar, forcing sentencing to be postponed over 6 months. That case, a lower-level narcotics trafficking charge with far fewer media eyes. Now, with cameras metaphorically everywhere, the stakes couldn't be higher or messier. In rare cases like this, the sentencing judge can actually recuse themselves without prompting, but doing so invites scrutiny from higher up the chain. Judges are expected to uphold not just fairness but the appearance of fairness. An appearance, when celebrity is involved, often eclipses reality. Post-trial motions are usually ignored because they're noise, said retired federal judge Sandra Valdez. But when the noise echoes into the press and questions judicial bias, suddenly everyone listens, including appeals courts. It's not about volume, it's about frequency. Legal strategy at this level becomes less about facts and more about frameworks. Diddy's team is reportedly compiling a parallel narrative to the prosecution's, designed to challenge the assumptions of the original verdict. They're not asking if he's guilty, they're asking whether the trial itself deserves to stand. Some legal theorists are predicting a new era of celebrity-driven procedural reform. These last-minute filings, especially in high-profile cases, could push courts to digitally archive jury instructions, standardize recusal disclosures, and tighten ex parte review policies. Diddy's Hail Mary might just become a playbook. Buried in a supplemental brief is a single line: potential conflicts in chambers not disclosed to defense. That phrasing alone has triggered a quiet storm of speculation. It suggests there may have been relationships or communications within the court staff that weren't formally acknowledged. In legal terms, that's not a red flag, it's a siren. If the judge denies the motion, will Diddy's team go public with the sealed materials? That's the whispered threat hovering over this entire case, a silent standoff between discretion and detonation. Whatever happens next won't just impact this courtroom. It could reverberate across every high-profile trial to come. A billionaire mogul, a fractured verdict, and a courtroom strategy that dares to put the system itself on trial. Whether Diddy's Hail Mary breaks through or gets buried beneath precedent, it's already exposed just how fragile the perception of fairness can be, especially when power and publicity collide. This motion might fail, but the ripple effects, they've already started. Next time, we'll break down how this could impact other celebrity trials, from Hunter Biden to the next crypto king. Stay sharp. What's unfolding behind closed doors today could define the rules for everyone tomorrow.